Hey guys, welcome back to Budget with Ajulydreamer. My name is Miranda, and on this channel I share everything personal finance. I cover budgeting, saving and investing. If these topics of interest you, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get in today's video. So today's video is going to be my November 2024 budget recap. I have actually debated whether I even wanted to share this video because today, when I'm filming this, it is December 14th. I got paid yesterday. I already budgeted out the rest of December and already done my January 2025 mock budget. So I was just like, what is the point? But actually, the point is it's still important for me to reflect on the previous month, which I have done, and I did it this week, and also just share with you guys in case there's someone out there who's like, oh, it's already halfway through the month, why do I need to bother looking back to November? But it's so important that we look back to see what did we project and exactly what did we spend, what money moves did we make, what money mistakes did we make, because we still all make money mistakes. I still make plenty of them. I'm nowhere an expert at budgeting, but I still love having a plan and try to achieve the plan. But I'm also flexible enough within my budget that I allow for things that may pop out here or there, and I'm going to share all of that in today's video. I have my trusted laptop here with my planner displaying. What I'm going to do for today's video is I'm going to cover what my top priorities and my top goals were for the month of November. I have my planner here where I have highlighted things that happened, everything that I planned, look at my goals, tell you about the books because we really need to talk about the books and all of that good jazz. Then at the end, I'm going to share with you the actual budget and all of that good jazz. So first is starting off with the reminder, monthly reminder for the month of November. So my monthly reminder was visualize your highest self and start showing up as her or him. So this is the monthly reminder that Press Reset has put into each and every single monthly budget, and I love reading these and try to see how I can attune myself to what that monthly reminder is for that month. And I love this one, visualizing yourself, your highest self, and then starting to show up as that person. I feel like I do this already, but definitely there's always room for improvement. And here, especially for 2024, my word for the year was continuous improvement. So I am definitely always working on improving myself. I hope that shows through my videos. If it doesn't, then take my word for it. That's how we're gonna go. But anyway, if I start off first with my top priorities, and just as a reminder, the top priorities that I have in my my Google Sheets planner are also the same ones that I write down. I just prefer to write things down but also have them on a planner so I can access them on the go. I normally carry this is why for 2024 I switched to a smaller legend planner. If you've watched my previous videos, especially those from 2023, you know that I had a huge black legend planner which I got from Amazon. Absolutely loved it, but I wanted to try a smaller version, which I am loving so much that I didn't buy the same one. I've got my 2025 one, which is also about the same size, and I know that I'll be walking around with this one for sure. But anyway, with the top priorities, I said one, to attend Nyasha's wedding in Nigeria. So Nyasha is my best friend, and I did. November was actually the month where I had 2 destination weddings. So I attended my best friend's wedding in Nigeria. Then at the beginning of November, I attended Tisha's wedding in Grenada. So we're literally on 2 continents, well, 3 continents in November, and it was great. But that also means it costs money, right? And we'll talk about that. So I did that. Then to celebrate my nephew's birthday, he turned 12, which was absolutely great. Even though I wasn't there in person because I was abroad, I was able to like send my present to him in advance, and then I said to book and attend Reformers Pilates, which I did after I came back from Grenada. Me and my friend attended our Pilates, which is chef's kiss. So I was able to accomplish all of my top priorities that I had set, which I just reflected in here, which was attend my best friend's wedding, attend Tisha's wedding, celebrate my nephew, book and attend Reformer Pilates, which is Yeah. Then my top goals was I needed to do a visa application, an express service for Nigeria. So British citizens need to apply for a visa to visit Nigeria. So we came back from Grenada, then submitted our application, and we got it within 3 days, which was, again, chef's kiss, but that would cost a pretty penny. So did that, and then I said to pay my car tax. So I pay the DVLA twice a year, in May and in November. So the November bill was £99.75, so I paid that. And then I said to renew my jetpack, which is my business expense, and I was able to do that as well. I don't think there was anything else. Oh, I had an extra one in here that I did not put in my top goals, and that was to submit my taxes. I did not submit my taxes at the end of November, but yesterday, December 13th, I submitted my taxes to my accountant finally, so that they can file them for me before January 31st of next year. So I didn't do it in November, but I have done it in December. So those were my top priorities and top goals in the month of November. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about was my books. I did mention that I was able to read a couple of books in November. I didn't do as much as I thought in October, but in November I definitely did. So in November I read November 9th by Colin Hoover. I loved the book. I really loved it. It was slow uptake for me, but I ended up loving it so much, and that made, I think that was my 9th or my 10th Colin Hoover book, because I had written it down in my notebook, because you guys know I write everything down. And I had written that down. So with Colin Hoover books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, November 9th was my 9th book. And I wanted to read it on November 9th itself, but it didn't work out that way. I started and I was halfway through the book by November 9th, but I never finished it on that day. But anyway, I have read It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us, Ends With Us, Starts With Us, Verity, Layla, All Your Perfects. And then I have read Never Never, Confess, Ugly Love, and finally I have read November 9th. I do love Colin Hoover's style of writing. It's easy for me to follow, but I must say that Verity and Layla both shocked the bejesus out of me. They left me on edge, but yeah, the rest of them I absolutely loved. I mean, I still love Verity and Layla, but it's just they were slightly different, and I love them. So I read November 9th. Then I also read or listened to The Love I Could Have Had. So this book I listened to on my Spotify, and I'm listening to the second book by the same author right now. So that book, The Love I Could Have Had, is by CJ Connolly. Yeah, Connolly, and I'm listening to The Love of Her Lives by the same author at the moment. I've got 3 hours left and I'll finish this book. Then I also listened to, on Audible, I listened to Evelyn Hugo's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Oh my god, like, I love that book. I literally enjoyed listening to all of it, and I listened to majority of it on the plane, and yeah, it was perfect. Then I have been reading, but I've not finished the Last Second Chance. This one is by Lucy Score. Hoping to finish this month, because I do have my goal of reading 24 books before the end of 2024. So yeah, I definitely need to finish this book as well. And then I read The Guest by my favorite author, B.A. Paris, and wow, oh my god, I was gobsmacked the entire time. I could not guess who the culprit was, like not even a smidget of it. And then when it was revealed at the end, I was agape. I was like, what? I could not believe it, you guys. 5-star for this book. I couldn't believe it. Then I also read The Housemaid, and this one also left me for 6. I was so shocked, so shocked. I couldn't believe how the book ended up. The person that I thought was the villain throughout the book turned out to be a victim. I was like, okay, you got me. And so I am actually going to listen to the other books in, I think they're a series. I have already downloaded, what have I downloaded? I believe, or purchased. I'm gonna have to look, but I literally loved The Housemaiden by Frida McFadden, and now I just want to read the other books. So I've got one credit. Which one did I say I wanted? Because I do want to listen to The Housemaid's Secret, but I also want to listen to The Housemaid is Watching. I don't know which one is the second book, but I'll figure out which one is the second book and then I'll listen to that one. But oh my god, like The Housemaid left me absolutely shocked. But yeah, so I was able to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in the month of November, which makes me really, really happy. And I think that brought me up to about 20 books read, and I just need to read 4 more books in the month of December. So in December I have to finish The Second Last Chance, The Love of Her Lives, and then I've already listened to the Four Agreements here. But I must admit, I need to re-listen to this one because I listened to it on the plane and I fell asleep, so I didn't really listen to everything, and it's only about 3 hours long. So I think I'm gonna re-listen to this one. And then I also decided that I'm going to listen to another book by, I think, who is it by? Is it Alex Cross? What was audiobooks? I'm using Spotify. Along Came a Spider by James Patterson. It's about Alex Cross, so I think this is book 1. I want to listen to this one. I just don't know if I'll have enough hours on Spotify, so I'll see when I finish The Love of Her Lives, and see how many hours I have plus my monthly hours that I am getting tomorrow or Monday. See if there will be enough to listen to this. If not, then I'll find another book to listen to on Spotify. But yeah, so oh my god, I just can't believe that I've read so many books, and I think I'm gonna do a whole video about the books that I've read in 2024. It'll be one of the videos that I post around Christmas time, you know, when everybody's just chilling, and you know that period between Christmas and New Year where nobody knows what day it is and what they're doing. That is when I'm thinking about it. Okay, so the sun just moved around. I hope my camera is still capturing me because my white should be coming out just fine. But yeah, anyway, so that was on the books. But you guys, I really enjoyed the books that I read / listened to in the month of November, and I've just loved that my reading slump is over and I'm back to reading a lot more books. And somebody actually did tell me when I was talking about my reading slump, like, you know what, you should maybe switch to Audible, like to audiobooks. And I'm glad they say that, because yes, I am back. I'm loving it. But I'm loving actually having a physical book. I'm loving listening to something as I'm working or walking around, but I'm also loving having my Kindle. So I'm using all of these, and I'm still wondering if I'm going to renew Audible, because with Spotify audiobooks, I feel I'm going to renew it because there are more books that I want on Audible than there are on Spotify. But anyway, that is the books. So that is it when it comes to the books. And then let me just quickly go on to life in general in the month of November. It was a pretty good month, a very busy month. Yes, traveling at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month meant that the middle was absolutely busy. So I did my Pilates with my friend. I met up with one of my friends I've been wanting to meet up with for a long time. She was my my buddy when we were both part of a financial group. So we met up and caught up, and we've decided we're gonna meet up again. I worked out, surprisingly. I always say to work out at least 3 times a week, and I did that. I managed to work out every single week except for the final week of November. I worked out on the Monday, but I didn't work out the rest of the days because we're busy getting our nails done, getting the hair done, running around as bridesmaid duties and all of that, so I didn't really have time. But otherwise, my steps on those days were incredible, which is ideal. But yeah, and it was a great month overall. I want to say it was really a great month, and Bob's your uncle. Anyway, now I am going to move over to the budget itself. Like I said, I've got my trusted laptop here. I'm not really going to do a screen record, but I will do a screen grab, so I'll be just doing quick screen grabs. So let us start off first with my income. So for my income, I had expected to bring in at least a minimum of 4,400, and I actually was able to bring in over 6,000 pounds. This does not include the money that I brought over from October, but if I do include the money that I brought in from October, then my total income is 8,425 and 23 pence. That's how much I was able to bring in the month of November. Then if I go to my bills, nothing different here. Everything was exactly as I expected. The only thing that did not come out with my bills was my second mobile, because of how the last day of the month, because that's when the bill comes out, the last of the month, the 30th of November, fell on a Saturday, so they did not charge me on the Saturday, but instead I paid that bill in December, so I just moved the money to December. But otherwise, I projected that I was going to spend over 2,500, and I spent just under 2,500 for my bills. Then if I go to my investments, with my investments, I ended up making another financial decision, which was to pull money from my ISA. Again, I think this is the fourth time I'm pulling from my ISA. Let me just go to my annual dashboard and have a look at my, yes, so January I put money, April I put money, September I put money, and now November I have put money as well. So from the ISA, I believe all of this, I think, is from the ISA. I've put quite a bit of money. At the time of filming this video, I've put just over 6,000, just under 6,600 from my my ISA. I am sad about the loss of this money in terms of, you know, the growth that this money could have had, but I'm happy that I actually had this money to pull instead of going into further debt. Year 4 of my 5-year plan personally has been a tough year. I feel like I have been regressing and I've made way too many financial mistakes, but I'm learning, and I hope not to replicate them in 2025, but it has been a tough one, if I am honest. Financially speaking, I've just found myself stretched in all directions. My money was stretched in all directions, and this is why for the last 3 months I made sure, so that was October, November and December, I made a financial decision to pause investing into my ISA. So even though I was pulling from it, I haven't been putting any money since September, since October. And then the SIP, I paused that as well, but that surprisingly has been growing really well. I'm still investing with my employer. I paused my Plum investing. I'm still sending my £25 to free trade, and I'm still sending £50 towards my LISA with Hargreaves Lansdowne. So I'm still doing a bit of investing. Oh, the sun just came out and I feel like my whole body is blending into the background except okay, but anyway, so I'm still doing a bit of investing, not as much as I would like, but I've also been pulling from it quite a bit. So I budgeted that I was going to spend £100 towards my investment. I did do a little bit more than that. I ended up sending 250, but then I put 1,500, so it kind of just went on the negative end of things. Moving over towards my debt summary, so I currently have 2 personal loans and 1 credit card I'm trying to pay off. With the personal loans, starting off with Zopa, I wanted to pay off at least £700. I ended up doing just under 750, so I did 749 and 89 pence. My creation loan, I wanted to pay off at least 650, and I did do that. Then for my credit card, nationwide credit card, £50 is what I send every single month. So this is a 0% interest card. until November 2025. So I've just been slowly but surely doing a little bit more than the minimum repayment for this one. So I projected 1,400 and I was able to send 1,449 and 89 pence towards my my debt, which I'm happy about because it brought down my debt significantly, and I definitely surpassed the goal that I set for myself. So I'm happy about this. Quickly touching on the savings and sinking funds, there isn't really much of an update here. I did say I wanted to add about £100 towards my vacation fund. I actually didn't. I ended up taking out what I have in there because travel, and I'll talk about that in variable expenses. My emergency fund, I wanted to put in at least £300. I wasn't able to. I was able to send 140, which is not bad at all. So for my savings and sinking funds, I projected 400, but I was only able to send about 130 when we remove what I've taken out. So yeah, now the final part is my variable expenses. Variable expenses is where the, excuse my friend, the shit hit the fan. With the traveling, I had under budgeted myself, and I don't know why. We shouldn't be surprised, first of all, and I'm not surprised anymore because what I budgeted and what ended up happening. I am a very, when I'm traveling, I'm a very YOLO person, very much so. Even though I'm meticulous about my budgeting, allocating money to my investments, blah blah blah, when it comes to travel, like when I'm planning for travel, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to this, I'm gonna stick to this. When I'm there, girl, we don't care, we're spending, all about YOLO. I'm living in the moment, all of that gorgeous, and then I feel the pain later when I come back. So let's talk about variable expenses. So for my groceries, I budgeted 150 because I knew I wasn't going to be home the majority of the time. So that's why I budgeted lower than what I normally do. For December, I ended up budgeting double because of, say, I'll be hosting, so I need to buy a lot of things. So I budgeted 150. I actually only spent 128.83. My wellness is a standard 125. Restaurants, I didn't budget anything, but I did spend over £40. Coffee and social, I budgeted 50, which is a joke, but I ended up spending 115 and 48. Fuel, I budgeted 100 and I only spent £77. Gifts, I budgeted 100 and I was able to give and tithe about 200. Miscellaneous, I put £20, but there were so many wedding things that came up, so I ended up spending over £130. Self-care, I budgeted 75, but I ended up spending 117.91 pence. Shopping, budgeted 50 and I spent over £200. Subscriptions, I budgeted 150 and I was under. I spent 136 and 65 pence. Travel, like I said, just think of this when you hear the number that she did YOLO. She YOLO'd way hard. I budgeted 650 and I actually ended up spending 1,518.25 pence. Yeah, I spent that much on travel, so that was over £800 above my budget. But I did go to 2 continents, so there is that. Housing, I budgeted 50. I didn't spend anything. Business, I budgeted 300 and I was able to spend 241 and 47 pence. For car maintenance, so this is like when I'm not actually using my car, so parking, using the train, I budgeted 150 because I knew I was gonna need to use the train, and I spent 147.40. So that's my budget, and my camera is flashing, so we've run out of. So I was just saying, my camera has run out of space on the memory card, and I decided I'm just gonna move to my iPhone. But yes, so that was my budget. So my expenses, I budgeted just under £2,000 and I spent almost 3,200, which is ridiculous, but such is life. We move. I made a lot of financial decisions that I do not regret, if I am honest. I do not regret any of them. I YOLO'd hard. I had a great time. I celebrated my best friend's wedding, my good friend's wedding. I literally lived my life for sure. So looking at the cash flow before I close out the video, I spent 44% of everything I brought in towards my variable expenses. My savings got a measly 1.8%. Debt got at least 20%, which is a good thing in my books. And then the bills got 34%. There's so many improvements that I am already implementing in the month of December, but December is not really the right month to gauge things, especially because, presents, I'm hosting, and my finances are all over the place. We're just trying to skip hop through this month, but that was my November budget, you guys. I'm not even mad at myself anymore. I've just accepted my fate. This is how I spent my money. This is what the story is saying, my money is saying about me. It was an incredible month, and I put my money where my mouth was spouting. So yeah, so that is it, you guys. I am going to edit this video now. I would like for you guys to see it tomorrow, December 15th. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.